Hi guys, I am Pavan, Proceedings Lead and Technical Department member of IEEE Student Branch GITAM. In this video of review series, I will be talking about NeoPixel LEDs and we will see how can we perform various operations on it using Arduino Uno board. Now before I start the simulation part, let me give a little introduction about NeoPixel LEDs. So when we want to control multiple RGB LEDs, each LED requires its own connection and multiple pins to control, and also it is little complex to program. So in order to overcome this disadvantage, a new kind of individually addressable RGB LED is introduced in the market, which is called as NeoPixel. So this NeoPixel LED is developed by Adafruit. Today Adafruit manufactures various products using NeoPixels like NeoPixel strip, NeoPixel ring, NeoPixel matrices and many more. Okay. So what is the specialty of this NeoPixel LED? So using just one pin from the microcontroller, we can control a large number of NeoPixel LEDs. So this is the specialty of it. Now let's not waste our time and dive into the simulation part.
So here we have an Arduino board and a NeoPixel strip that is having 4 RGB LEDs. We can also use an 8 LED NeoPixel strip and 10 LED NeoPixel strip and 12 LED NeoPixel strip and 16 LED NeoPixel strip and also a 20 LED NeoPixel strip if we want. Okay. Now if you see this NeoPixel strip, we are having 3 pins here. The first pin is the ground pin, which is always connected to the ground. And second pin is the power pin. It is the pin through which we give a power supply of 5 volts to our NeoPixel strip. And next pin is the data input pin. It is the pin through which we give PWM signal to our NeoPixel strip. Those PWM signals come from our Arduino Uno board. Here I want to perform some operations on our NeoPixel strip. For that we have to write some code. So here is the code I have written. First, I have included Adafruit NeoPixel.h library. It is mandatory to use this library whenever we are working with NeoPixel LEDs. Next, I have created 2 variables here. The first variable pin is nothing but the pin of Arduino Uno board to which our NeoPixel strip is connected. Here I have connected my NeoPixel strip to pin number 6 of Arduino Uno board. So I have given the value of pin as 6. Next, I have created another variable here called NLEDs. This NLEDs variable stores the value of number of LEDs in our strip. Here we are having 4 LEDs. So I have given the value of NLEDs as 4. Next, I have created an instance of Adafruit NeoPixel, which is called as strip. It is using the values of NLEDs and the pin here. So this strip represents our NeoPixel strip here. Suppose if we take another strip and connect it to another pin of Arduino, we have to create another instance to represent it. Next, I have initialized my strip using the begin method inside the void setup. So after initializing, we need to write the code for the operations or functionalities we want to perform on our NeoPixel strip. So here is the code. So I have written all the code inside the void loop. Here the functionality is that when I start the simulation, my first LED should glow as red color, and my second LED should glow in green color, and my third LED should glow in blue color, and my fourth LED should glow in silver color. For that to happen, I am using a function called setPixelColor and a method called show. Both of them are a part of NeoPixel library. So this setPixelColor function sets the color of the LED in this strip. In the arguments of this function, I have given some values. The first value here is the address of the LED. So this 0 is the address of first LED, and this second LED has an address 1, and this third LED will have an address 2, and the fourth LED will have an address 3. The value here is the RGB color code. So I have discussed about RGB color codes and RGB LEDs in the previous video of the revise series. Do check it out once. Okay. So this 255,0,0 is the RGB color code of red. After that, I have used another method called show. This method makes the LED glow after the color is set by setPixelColor. So let me simulate the circuit and show it to you. So if you see here, our NeoPixel strip is working according to the functionality given. So this is how our circuit works. So this here is another circuit I have done. Here we are having an 8 LED NeoPixel strip. So the circuit connections here are same as the before one, but just a little change in functionality. So this is the code. So everything till here is the same, but just a different operation is being performed here. So my functionality here is that when I start the simulation, at first, my first LED should glow in pink color. Again, after 200 milliseconds, it stops and my second LED starts glowing in pink color. Again, after 200 milliseconds, this second LED stops glowing and my third LED will start glowing. And the process repeats till the end like a loop. So how this for loop here works here is that, okay, when I start the simulation, at first, I equals to 0 value goes in here. So let me write it here. So when I equals to 0 value goes in here, I value is replaced with a value 0. And also here I value is replaced with a value 0. So in a set pixel color function, the first value here is nothing but address, right? So this is the address of first LED. So my first LED will glow, like will be set to a value of pink, color of pink. Okay, and this strip.show method will make my first LED glow. So this delay is nothing but it it creates a delay in between the statements here. So after the delay, this statement will execute. So this 0, 0, 0 will make my LED stop glowing. Next, after that, I plus plus, like my I value increments. So here in the place of I, we'll be getting 1. So this 1 here is the address of second LED. So my second LED will be set to a color of pink. After setting this strip.show will make my second LED glow in pink color. So after the delay of 200 milliseconds, again it stops glowing, my second LED. And after that, again it increments. So it increments to 2 here. So I value is replaced by 2. This 2 is address of third LED. So this third LED will be set to a color of pink. And this strip.show method makes my third LED glow to a pink color. So after the delay of 200 milliseconds, again it stops glowing. So the process repeats till the seventh LED. And this is how the for loop works. Okay, now let me simulate it and show. So if you see here, like this strip is working according to the functionality I have given. So this is how this circuit works here. So this here is another circuit I have done. I'm using a NeoPixel ring here. So just like an NeoPixel strip, it is having 3 pins: the ground pin, the power pin, and the data input pin. I have connected the data input pin to pin number 6 of Arduino Uno. I'm performing a functionality here. The functionality here is same as the before one, like this, okay, with a for loop, but just a little change. For every iteration, color of the LED changes. Okay, so when I start the simulation here, at first, my first LED glows in a random color for 500 milliseconds. After that, my first LED stops. Again, my second LED glows in a different color. Okay, so after 500 milliseconds, it stops again, and my third LED glows in a different color. So let me start the simulation and show it to you. Okay, so if you're observing, for every iteration here, the color is changing just by using this random keyword here, like a random method here. So this random method makes you select, like here I have written int x equals to random 255. So a random value between x 0 and 255 will be given to x. Okay, for instance, let's consider a value 240 is given to x and 260 is given, like 230 is given to y. Like I said, a random value will be selected. We don't know what. So 240, 230, 34. This can be an RGB color code of any color. So these values will be gone here and this will be executed like I have explained before. So again, after I becomes 1, after I increments, again another random value will be selected. For instance, let's consider 250 is given like 2 is taken by x and 20 is taken by y and 134 is taken by z. So these xyz values go in here as an RGB color code input in this set pixel color function. Okay, and these statements will execute. So this is how this NeoPixel ring works. So next, here I have done a project using NeoPixel LEDs. Basically, this is an LED display which can display any 5-letter word. Here I have created 5 matrices, 5 NeoPixel LED matrices. The first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and the fifth one. Each matrix displays the word here. So how I build this matrix is that first I took a NeoPixel matrix and another NeoPixel matrix, and we have to interconnect the power pin of first matrix with the power pin of second matrix and the ground pin to ground, and the output pin of the first matrix to the input pin of the second matrix, just like this. So this is the first row of the matrix. Now in the second row, we have to connect the power pin just like this, and the ground pin to the ground, and the output pin to the output pin of the matrix here. And just like that, I have created this matrix. Now let me delete this. So I have connected the first matrix with pin number 7 of Arduino Uno, and the second matrix with pin number 6 of Arduino Uno, and third matrix with pin number 5 of Arduino Uno, and the fourth matrix with pin number 3 of Arduino Uno, and the last matrix with pin number 3 of Arduino Uno. Here, as usual, first I have included Adafruit NeoPixel.h library. Next, I have created 5 instances for 5 LED matrices here. I have defined the strip name like an array, like strip 0 here represents the first LED matrix, strip 1 represents the second LED matrix, strip 2 represents the third LED matrix, strip 3 represents the fourth LED matrix, strip 4 represents the fifth LED matrix. So next, I have initialized all the strips at a time using for loop here using the begin method. Inside the void loop, I have written the working code or the functional code. Before I explain the functional code or working code of this, let me explain about this function here. Void print letter int type char mychar. So here I am using a switch and case statement. For instance, let's consider here I am giving the I value as 2 and mychar value as C here. Now what happens is that switch mychar, okay, switch C goes in here because I am given C here. Now this C is compared with case A here, like here letter A. So here C is not equals to A, right? So these statements won't be executed under the case A here. So next it goes to case B. Our letter C is compared with case B here. They both are not equal, right? C is not equals to letter B, right? So case B statements won't get executed. No, if it goes to case C here. So if you observe here, our letter C, our mychar variable is equals to case C, letter C here. So these statements will execute and make my LEDs in the third matrix. Okay, here 2 is the address of the third matrix. So this makes letter C display in the third matrix here. For instance, let's consider I want to display in the first matrix. I will give this I value here as 0. And if I want to display in the last matrix, means the fifth matrix, I will give the value as 4. Okay, we can also change the letters if we want. Like if I want to display P, so this letter P is compared with every case here, and it checks with every letter here, case J, K, L, M, N, O, and it finds the P here. So these statements will execute and will make our last matrix, like our last matrix glow and display like a letter P here. So this is how this matrix, like this function here works, this print letter function. Now before I explain about this void loop, let me simulate the circuit and show. So if you observe here, the first thing happened after I simulated the circuit is that in the serial monitor, it asks for a user input. Enter a word with less than 5 letters in uppercase. So that's what I have written here. So first I am taking the user input, like I am asking the user what you want to display using this LED display here. Now after that, this user input, like this user input will be stored in the variable word here. Okay, here I have given the user input as my name here, Pavan. This will be stored here. Now all the operation or the functionality comes in this for loop here. Now what happens in this for loop is that, so user input is Pavan, right? Now in the for loop, print letter I. Here I is nothing but address. Now first what happens is that first I equals 0 value goes in here. So I equals 0 comma word dot char at 1 I, right? So I equals to 0. So char at, what is it? So this char is used to access a single letter of the string or a single character in the string. For instance, in this character Pavan, like in this string Pavan, I want to access the letter P. How can I access? So what will I do is that I'll be calling, like I will be calling like char at 0, word dot char at 0, which is nothing but p here. If I want to access the last word n here, I'll be calling word dot char at 4, which is nothing but n here. Now I said right, I equals to 0, value goes in here. So word dot char at 0 is nothing but letter p, right? The first letter. So print letter comma print letter 0 comma p. So what happens is that in the first matrix here, letter p will be displayed like it is displayed here. So after the first matrix is completed, I value increments and this I value becomes 1. Now char at 1 means second word a, second letter a. So this becomes a. And in the second matrix, letter a will be displayed. Now again the I value increments, print letter 2 comma char at 2 means the third matrix, char at 2 means the third letter b. So letter b here, print letter 2 comma b. In the third matrix, letter b will be printed. So this is how our for loop works. So this is how we can print, like we can display a 5-letter word using an LED display here.
Thank you for watching my video. I really hope you liked it. Do like and share my video with your friends and family.